the spirit world and the afterlife. Hi, the peace of the Lord Jesus. I was 7 years old at that time when I had this experience. I was supposed to be operated and the surgery was supposed to be simple. It was throat surgery for it was inflamed, and I had to be operated on. I never imagined that there was a spiritual world beyond this material world. In the past I heard about heaven and hell. I heard about the devil and God. At that time I had no idea what this was. In the hospital I went through several exams before I could be operated, yet this surgery took 2 days. After the surgery I still stayed in the hospital for 2 more days. I remember saying to the man who came to get me to the operating room, "If you please, can I pray before going to the operating room?" And he answered me, "We have no time for this now." Actually, I was born in Christian cradle. Since I was small I was growing up in a church environment. My mother always told me about Jesus since I was a little. On that day the doctor dressed me for surgery and I laid on this hospital bed. I remember before entering the operation room I was all smiling, but when I saw the size of the anesthesia needles I realized that things were serious. Then I was administered anesthesia. As a result I saw nothing. Suddenly I found myself out of my body. I was lost like a child and I stayed there without understanding anything, for I saw myself on the bed being operated, and I wondered how can I be lying there being operated and at the same time seeing everything. I kept touching my physical body with my spiritual body that had the same appearance with my body. I saw that I had the same color, same voice, same outfit from surgery. I tried to touch the doctors but my hand went through them even if tough was on the side of the doctors. It seemed like their voices were about 10 meters away from me. It was a very strange thing. Only those who went through afterlife experience can understand what I'm talking about. I stayed there running and moving in the operating room. I was floating, thought it was just a few feet off the ground, not beyond the ceiling. I stood beside the doctors watching the surgery and it was at that time that demons appeared. The first time I saw these monsters they had human shape and they were just dark. When I saw them I bent down and I tried to raise the sheet to hide but my hands went through it. I crossed the cloth where I was trying to hide. Suddenly one of these demons came to me and put his face where I was hiding in order to scare me. When he put his face on mine I screamed and got out of there. When I looked at this demon, brother, you won't believe what I'm going to say, but the demon looked like Pinocchio of those carnival. The other demon that looked like the devil seems to have a sledgehammer in his hand, and I was afraid but I said, "I'm not afraid of you." My mom said, "It's just a mask, you are not monsters." The minor demon started to laugh. The tall demon who looked like the devil kept on looking at me without saying a word. When he reached out to touch me I freaked out and started crying. These demons started to go around me. They cursed me and they pulled my hair, they pull my arms, they pinch me, they had my file and they were accusing me. In this despair I cried to God for his endless love. These demons came against me with deadly hatred. I fell down lying on the floor. I tried to kick them but the tall demon took my legs and started to pull me all over the operating room. I screamed to my mother for help. I begged for help from doctors but my efforts were useless. Nobody could see and hear me, though they were there. I was in the midst of this horror, and the demons showed me my case, my sin, and they accused me. Brothers and sisters, these were horrible monsters. The bigger demon got me under his arm as if they were taking me to a place. The lesser demon kept giving pirouettes in the air laughing around. The bigger demon was dragging me. When these demons were about to take me through the wall, immediately an angel of the Lord appeared. He was beautiful light when he manifested in the operating room. When I looked at the angel of God, he made a movement with his hands, and he released a blast of bluish fire that hit demons and they released me. I was now in the middle between angels and demons. These demons tried to touch me but they couldn't because of the bluish light that had surrounded me like fire. They could do anything with me. Every time they tried to touch me it looked like they were hit by a kind of electric shock. I don't know how to explain what they actually felt when they were trying to touch me, for the bluish fire that surrounded me was like electricity. When they saw that they were there unable to touch me, they gave a horrible shout and they disappeared through the wall. Brother, I cried so much that I was sobbing. The angel called me and asked me to get near him. I was a little afraid because in my life I had not seen these things before. I went to the angel and I thanked him for helping me and for getting rid of those ugly bugs. When I approached the angel of light, I knelt down crying in order to thank him. Immediately he lifted me up and told me, "Don't do this, Felipe, you should only kneel before the Father, brother." The only thing that the angel said was for me to be more obedient to my parents. As child I was already badly behaving and this was displeasing God. While the angel said this, he made a move with his hands and spoke in strange tongues. At the time I found it funny and I started laughing with my hand over my mouth, but the angel seriously spoke to me and told me this is a very serious situation you are in. I was quiet. I bow my head as a sign of respect. Afterwards the angel gave me a beautiful hug with affection. He was full of affection and he took me by the arm because I was sitting on a stretcher and he walked me through the wall. When he was going to the wall, the angel turned and waved at me to say see you soon and then he disappeared and I came back to my body. I remember that when I returned to my body I breathed well and I tried to get up in the middle of surgery. The doctors anesthetized me again. I blacked out again. When I woke up the surgery was over. Brother, this is my testimony about what I went through in the spiritual world. With all the details, I remember the angel asked to be a more obedient child. I know all this sounds crazy. God showed me such reality for me to know that there is earthly life and there is also life beyond the grave.